Hey, what's up, guys? It's your WAP here, Swabble, bringing you a new series called The First Time. In this series, I will tell you different stories about just my first experiences with different things just normal people go through. The gameplays I'm commentating over today is a 26-0 game of Demolition on launch and a 32-0 game of TDM on Nuketown during Nuketown 24/7, and it was possibly the quickest game of TDM ever. So if you're watching, white boy, try to beat that. But before we start here, I know I'm gonna get a lot of comments saying like, "Hey, you little shit, you're copying I Am the Attack," and like stuff like that. And yeah, I am copying I Am the Attack, just on my first series. But I'm using my own own stories, and I actually contacted I Am the Attack asking him if I could use the topic of my first, and I just thought he wasn't going to answer or just be a total douchebag and say no, but he was actually really cool about it. He was a good guy about it, and all he said was make sure you send me it when the video is done, which I thought was pretty cool. But alright, let's get into this. So, the topic I'm using today is the first time I got caught. Let's just say the first time I got caught buttering the corn or choking the chicken, if you know what I mean. But it's actually a really good story, a really funny story. So I'm going to stop going on about it and just get right into it. So I first started watching pornography like towards the end of 5th grade during the school year. And I started legit jerking it to it the summer of 5th grade. So the summer of 5th grade going into 6th grade. So I was doing this shit like 3 times a week, and I think my mom had an idea that I was doing it, but she wouldn't tell me. Like one time I got this movie on Netflix with like loads of tits and sex in it, and my mom was reading the bill a couple days later, and she was like, her eyes like lit up and just looked at me and said, "You have fun the other day?" And I was like, "Oh shit." So after that, I knew she was on to me, so I had to try to be a little more cautious. So one day, I think it was like middle of summer, so it was like in August or July. I'd watched porn earlier that day, and if you ever been on this website called Pornhub, then you know when you first click on something on the page, it automatically opens this other different little tab or window at the bottom, but it doesn't show it. It just automatically puts it up there. So that's what I was using that day, and I forgot. I always made sure to X out, but I was being stupid, I guess you could say, and I forgot to exit out. So I was like, "Oh shit, I'm getting caught. I'm fucked right now." So I just realized it later that day, and I was like, "Shit." So I ran into the computer room to see if anybody had used it, and my mom was on, so I was like, "Holy shit, I'm fucked." And so I lay low the rest of the day. I just went to my friends, didn't come home till a little later. And then, so she never said anything to me during dinner or anything, so I thought I just got off. I thought maybe I did X out. So, excuse me. So, when my mom came in my room later that night before I was going to go to bed to tell me what we were doing the next day, she never mentioned anything about it. She just told me like normally. And so when she left the room, I thought, "Oh God, I must have X'd out of it. I'm so lucky." And then right after I thought that, like instantly, she came in and said, "You know, there's a little red X at the top of your screen to close the page." And then she just left. She didn't even say anything after that. She just left, and I was like, "Fuck!" I thought I was done, but she never said anything else about it. She just let that roll. And so later that summer, it was the same summer, but it was towards the end. Actually, it was the last day of summer, and then school started the next day. And by then, I had enough money to buy my own computer, so I put it in my room. And I was like, "Holy shit, this is awesome! I'll never get caught again." So when I was like, it was like 12 at night one night, right, and then the next day was school. And my mom usually goes to bed at 9, and she thought I went to bed at 9 too. But really I was some jerking it to some lesbo porno, if you know what I mean. And so I heard some footsteps going up the stairs halfway through the process, and I thought it was just my dog, so I was like, oh, I'm not gonna stop this. And if you ever beat your meat, you know, once it's almost done, you gotta complete the mission. You gotta keep going. So I just kept going, and then so footsteps got closer, and I was like, shit, I'm almost done. Let me finish this. And so I hear a knock on the door. The door opens. Oh shit, it was my mom. So I turn around, my hand down there. I was like, oh shit! My mom screamed like she was in a fucking horror movie. It was some crazy shit. I've never heard her scream that loud. So later that night, I got a huge talk from my parents, and I don't think I mentioned this, but my mom is very well into women's rights, and my dad, he didn't seem that mad because I don't know. My dad's pretty cool, but my mom's really into women's rights, so she probably got pissed that I was watching lesbian porn instead of any other. And so I got a huge talk about how I was too young for it, and how it's not going to help me in my future or something. I don't fucking know. I forget. But guys, it is safe to say that I didn't do it all of 6th grade. And now when I do it, if I do, I don't even do it as much though. But when I do, I make sure to X out of that page, and I make sure no one's home. So, yeah, if you liked the video, you can like it. Comment of how you liked it, what I should change, and maybe what I should do next. And yeah, sub wouldn't hurt either, guys. So yeah, that's my story of my first time getting caught choking the chicken. So remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and peace, guys.